afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host. And in studio with me, my main man, Jamie Angel.
Wait, I got him.
Yeah.
Here I am.
You're bringing the real stuff today. Man, we are broadcasting live from the Beal and A. Your hometown attorneys, Beal and Abear. Go check them out. If you have questions on the law, regarding the law, about the law, call them, Beal and Abear. They will take care of you. We are also broadcasting live from rumble.com. I want you to go to Rumble. Check us out and give us a little follow. We appreciate all of our viewers over there. Thank you so much. And to our local Acadiana listeners and viewers and abroad, we appreciate you so very, very, very much. All right, let's go around the news, shall we?
We shall.
Around the news, brought to you by Dino's Pizza today. We appreciate Dino's. So, Daniel Arkin at the Center Square. He's reporting that Q2 2025 is one of the strongest earnings seasons on record, despite all the tariff talk. S&P 500 profits jumped 11% year over year, with 84% of companies beating expectations and tech giants leading the charge at 26% growth. Wall Street said, brace for pain. I remember that. You know that? But America's businesses said, hold my Topo Chico. So they cut costs, they leaned on supply chains, they passed along prices, and the weak dollar boosted exports, quite frankly. Tariffs were supposed to tank them. Remember that? But instead, they posted record resilience. So here's the real story. The American economy doesn't fold when bureaucrats mess with it. No, we're like humans. We're people. We're real people, not paper people. Entrepreneurs adapt. Workers, we grind. Companies find a way. Washington plays politics and America still produces. Thank God that's still the ingredients that make up our great land, for the most part. Moving on, USA Today's Kayla Jimenez says Bolivia just gave socialism its biggest defeat in 20 years. Good job, Bolivia. Way to go.
It's about time.
The ruling party, the MAS party, crashed to 3%. So instead, voters picked between a centrist and a conservative former president, Jorge Quarago.
Good job.
Yay, give it to me. Give me the mulligan.
I don't know if that's right, but we'll go with it.
Yeah. And and why, you may think? Why would they go from this socialism to these other guys? Well, inflation is out of control over there. Fuel and dollars are scarce. People are fed up with corruption, the false promises of the left. Even Evo Morales couldn't save the socialists this time. I mean, so here's the headline, or should be. When people's wallets are empty, ideology doesn't feed families. Socialism, once again, has failed again. Bolivia, this time, proves what history already taught us. The left always runs out of other people's money. And I ain't wrong. Lastly, let's go to Medicare costs. Nicole Weatherholtz at Newsmax, or under Newsmax, shows the Inflation Reduction Act is now inflating your Medicare bill. What?
What?
Hold on.
I thought Medicare was free.
Hey, pal. I thought President Biden, it said, no, wait, hold on. That's what Senator Cassie said. It said, look, it says Inflation Reduction Act. That's what it says.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, but now they're reporting that it might be inflating our Medicare bills.
Well, look.
Man.
Again, I thought Medicare was free. I don't know. Why we pay for it?
Well, nothing is free. All right, back to Sears, though. So they did cap drug costs at $2,000. Okay, good. But they shoved the rest of the tab onto insurers. That's the problem here. And those insurers are jacking up premiums, You see it really with deductibles a lot.
We know all about that, yeah.
Yeah, we do. We'll talk about that. Who's going to get credit? It's mine.
Everybody get credit.
Democrats promised savings. And enough elite rhinos did too in Washington. But instead, seniors now, just look around. Paying more for ghost benefits, basically, that look nice in speeches, but don't help a single person at the pharmacy counter.
Not a one.
So This is the binary playbook. Slap a shiny label on a bill, brag about helping people, then quietly make it more expensive. The so-called Inflation Reduction Act is reducing nothing except our bank accounts. So we're going to move on to another little topic. Thank you, Dinos. Appreciate you. Louisiana auto insurance, that's been in the news.
Has it?
Yeah, no, really. It's been a thing. Have you heard of it?
Oh boy, have I! I had to pay that $600 bill this week.
Well, I think I have some good news. I haven't experienced this great news personally. I don't think you have either. But hey, it's something.
Maybe it's coming.
Maybe it's coming, guys. So Nolan McKendry, credit over there at the Center Square. Nolan's reporting that auto insurance rates in Louisiana are finally starting to drop in 2025. But instead of celebrating that good news, patting each other on the back, even when we disagreed, look at this, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, no, we can't do that. No. Mm-mm. We have to fight over who gets the doggone credit. That's what we're going to fight over. We're not going to say, hey, this is a great victory for the people of Louisiana, even if either one of the camps could make this speech.
It ain't because of what you did. It ain't because of what your actions.
Well, it might be. Who are you talking about?
Oh, I'm just talking about that's what they're saying to each other.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
it's
you
not
didn't fix it.
yours. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's go to a few little facts here. More than 20 insurers, this is facts, more than 20 insurers have filed for rate decreases since January. Great. With 14 of them cutting premiums by more than 1%. Wonderful, man. That's good. That's a good thing. It ain't near where we need to be, but I think folks can accept that too. I would hope the folks that are taking credit or trying to take credit for that, we have to understand that that's not where we want to end. I would hope so. But this is good, and we have to recognize when good things happen. I don't want to be the guy that always focuses on negative. I mean, who the hell wants to do that?
I don't know.
So, anyway, 14 of these guys, though, 14 out of the 20 are cutting premiums by more than 1%. Pretty big shift. Pretty big shift compared to 2024 when only 7 companies filed for a decrease the entire year. So we're August 19th. So great. I'm happy about that. Jamie and I have not experienced that yet.
I mean, 1%.
Hey, I'm taking the wins.
It's $6.
I know. I'm trying to be nice.
I hear you. Look,
it's only August.
I still have hope.
So insurance commissioner Tim Temple says this is about fewer accidents. That's why they're doing this, because of fewer accidents.
Well, good job.
Okay. Well, we don't know. Hey, none of this is my opinion. I want you to know this. What I'm about to, I'll tell you. I don't think you have to guess where my opinion is. But I'm just telling you, this is what Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple and his camp is saying. I love Commissioner Temple. Great guy. Says that this is about fewer accidents, though. Fewer wrecks means fewer losses, which makes insurers compete harder for customers. So, hey, we'll come back to that when we get back from the break. And yeah, I got a few thoughts on that. I do have some opinions on it, too. So, and I can't wait. Woo, later in the hour, we're going to hear yours. My favorite part. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios here in Acadiana. Your hometown attorneys, Beal and Abear. Give those guys a call if you got questions on the law. Also, we're broadcasting live on Rumble, rumble.com, like Rumble in the Jungle. Look up the Josh Guillory Show. Give us a little follow. It's for free. Opens up a lot of stuff. We got a chat, or yeah, we got a couple of those. Thank you so much. You can chat us on Rumble, and we appreciate those viewers out there. Thank you so much. Absolutely. All right, let's continue our discussion on insurance. So, more than 20 insurers, just to remind everybody, more than 20 insurers in our great state of Louisiana has filed for a reduction. Great. Rate decreases. That's all from January. So we're looking at 8.5 months. Okay, cool. 14 of them are noted as cutting their rates by 1%. Jamie pointed out on a $600 premium, that's $6. Okay, I tried to highlight the positives. I thought I was, maybe I should have been stronger when I said, it's not where we want to be.
It's, I guess it is a shuffle in the right direction.
Yeah, man. Come on. So, right azimuth. That right azimuth is shot. You know what I mean?
I suppose.
Okay. So, again, Commissioner of Insurance Tim Temple, he says it's about accidents. We have fewer of them. So the insurance companies, the insurers, they said that's why. Less accidents means insurers, which means competition, harder for customers, basically. So Governor Jeff Landry says, no, that's not what happened. This is the direct result of the tort reform package he signed earlier this year. That reform capped damages. It limited attorney's fees. It put new restrictions on personal injury suits, and it even created tax brackets for dash cams. Okay, or tax breaks. Sorry, for dash cams. So, all right. Now, Commissioner Tipple, he's been pretty clear though. He says legal reforms take time. So yeah, we passed all that stuff, but it takes a little time. You don't flip a switch in June and see insurance rates fall in July. Yeah, that's usually, I mean, historically that's accurate. Legislation does take longer. I don't know. This was so sensitive that I genuinely I don't know who gets the credit. How about this? We all collectively can decide. I'm just trying to tell you what both camps are saying, what both sides are saying. So, but fair point about the insurance commissioner. Insurers themselves are pointing to accidents again, not lawsuits, as the immediate driver. That's what they're saying, which is very interesting of a position. That's a very interesting statement from the industry. Just throwing that one out there. We're going off that one article.
Say that again. What did they say?
Well, we know car accidents, what they're saying is the independent variable, but not lawsuits, not litigation.
Interesting.
And that was the whole tort reform. I guess I don't know. Maybe that's coming from the insurance. Actually, I'm quoting the industry. I apologize. This is the insurance commissioner saying that the industry is saying it's accidents, not lawsuits. So the tort reform's not doing anything. Well, if it's not doing anything, then why'd we do it?
I have a legal question for you.
Yeah. No, I think that's important because we've beaten up Jeff Landry a lot, and he's taken a lot of hits. Mm-hmm. And the commissioner has gotten a pretty favorable platform. To his defense, he took it and just told truth. And I like both gentlemen. Okay, but this is, I will tell you, this is the first time I hear something like that, and it's a little more politically motivated. Seems like than maybe in the recent past.
My question's about the judges.
Yeah, what about?
Do they not play a role in this? Like when deciding these awards, it just seems like that they could also kind of help mitigate some of these excessive jury award or dollar amounts.
They could ultimately, because of the way our state is the laws govern our state, the way we're set. The legislature has a lot of control on that. If you want to cap damages, cap damages. Stop blaming the judges. If you don't want a judge to have discretion, take the discretion away. You do it in med mal. $500,000, I believe it is.
In what? Oh, medical malpractice.
Yeah, medical malpractice.
You got to speak English.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I try not to do that. But, yeah.
So if the legislature would just cap damages, we'd probably be wonderful right now.
Hey, great point on I was about to say on the chat. On the Rumble chat, insurance is not just for automobiles. What about healthcare and homeowners? Yeah, you ain't kidding. Healthcare, little different, more federal regs. Homeowners, though, and automobile, yeah. And the writer says, why are they up? I'm
Great question.
Great question for sure. And why are we asking the same wrong question? Who pays for it? I'm talking about health insurance. Why don't you ask the real question? Why does it cost so much? Why does the same care, why does the same molecule in our country?
Same Tylenol.
Yeah, why does the same Tylenol cost that much here and not there? All right. Our Rumble folks, you got to see me tangled up there. That's pretty impressive. So, but yeah, so the insurance commissioner saying that. The governor, on the other hand, says, no, we passed all this tort reform. He's leaning hard into this. And he's saying his reforms are working, and they're working right now. And he's framing it as a victory against frivolous lawsuits and a win for Louisiana families. So both seem to be taking a little cred here. So here's the tension, though. These two gentlemen, Temple, Landry, they've been butting heads for a little bit now. Earlier this year, Landry touted GM's insurance program as proof of his reforms working. Remember that?
Oh, boy, do I.
Insurance Commissioner Temple, he went on the record and had to correct him, saying that GM's subsidiary had been licensed since 2006, that this was not a new insurer coming into market. This wasn't anything new. Landry has said regulators, this is key, Governor Landry has said that regulators don't have enough power to fight high rates. While Temple insists he's got all the power he needs. He's been very consistent in that. At one point, this is how heated this thing has gotten. At one point, the governor excluded Temple from a press conference on insurance reform. And I mean, that's how strained this relationship had gotten. I mean, you're talking about insurance reform and the insurance commissioner's not there. You're having all these other meetings and not everybody's in the room. And look, I've been saying this all along. This is my opinion on all this. All right. That's what the two camps are saying. Hey, make your decision. Two guys that are putting out some information. Check it out. We're just trying to give you what they're saying. So, but here's my take. And I've been saying this all along. If we're serious, if we're serious about fixing insurance in Louisiana, everyone who has an impact on it needs to be in the room, not just select few. And not always all at the same time. I get it. Look what Trump's doing. Trump didn't wait 2 months to go meet with Zelensky. He met with Putin on Friday and Zelensky yesterday.
They're about to all meet soon.
Exactly. And he met with European leaders. You got to get all the sides talking. You got to get all of the sides talking, even when you disagree with them. You have to do that. The governor, the commissioner, the industry, don't forget those guys. That's who you're wanting to change. Invite them to the table. They may have the solution. You might be surprised, government, how well private companies and individual citizens can govern ourselves. I thought we were conservative. Anyway. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Abear, your hometown attorneys. Give those guys a call if you have questions on the law. All right, my favorite time of the whole show. The phone lines are open. 232-1542, 232-1542 outside of the Acadiana area. You can call us at 844-766-6607. We certainly appreciate when we get those calls. It happens every once in a while. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's move on topics, shall we?
We shall. What happened to Eddie? Eddie was on the line. He hung up. We hadn't heard from him in a while. Call back, Eddie. We miss you.
Call back, Eddie. All right. Nicole Weatherholtz at, again, I found this article at Newsmax, reports that carjackings in Washington, D.C. magically are down this is carjacking, okay? Are down a stunning 83%. 83%.
That must have been high.
Since President Trump announced a federal takeover of the police force last week. That wasn't last month. It wasn't even last year. Last week. 83%.
That's nuts.
Like, come on. You can't. Now, look, I'm going to have some thoughts on using National Guard and federalizing and all that stuff. And I've given my thoughts, and we'll talk about it a little bit. But you can't deny the effectiveness. You can't deny, like, my friends that are on the left. Seriously. Come on, my friends on the Democrat side. That's identified as Democrat. Come on now. You got to at least admit the effectiveness of this. 83% down. High carjackings. Wow. Okay, so the D.C. Police Union is another source. D.C. Police Union says the numbers don't lie. Overall crime is down 8% in just 7 days. That's great. That's great for our capital. Robberies fell 46%. Violent crime down 22%. Car theft down 21%. This is from the D.C. Police Union. D.C. Police Union. Man, the union's pretty clear, though. None of this sticks unless President Trump doesn't get involved. None of this sticks, and specifically, they're pretty vocal about this. None of this sticks unless the failed D.C. policing law from 2022 gets repealed. They are avid advocates to repeal that. That law tied the hands of officers, kicked veteran cops off the force, and put political ideology ahead of public safety. That's what you get in these towns, though, when that ideology just seeps through over there. I don't know. All right, so here's where I stand. I support President Trump stepping in here. I do. Fully. This is our nation's capital. This is your capital, my capital. And for too long, it's been a national embarrassment. Tourists come to see, the sights. They don't come to see carjackings. Members of Congress, they should be writing bills and not dodging bullets. And if the local politicians in our capital, won't keep their streets safe, then I would say that the federal government actually has a duty, a responsibility to clean its capital up. It is a privilege to be that mayor. It is a privilege to be on that council. You know, take care of your folks.
You know they're secretly happy about what's going on right now.
They get to win both ways. They get a clean city, and they get to blame Trump and call him evil. And call him bad man. Orange man, bad. All right, who are we going to? All right, caller, you are live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Teaspoon, man.
Hey, what's going on, bud? What you got?
Teaspoon.
Hey,
you said earlier about the liberals running out of our money. It reminded me of something.
What's up?
Long time ago in the 80s, I asked my dad, Dad, why they can't balance their checkbook? He told me, he said they're balancing a book without the money. You know? Well, time goes by, a politician comes to the shop, and he's trying to get my dad's attention. But finally, I told my dad, I said, look, this dude's here. So my dad is like, okay, I see him. So he goes talk to him. So the politician said, Mr. Boudreaux, he said, if you vote for me, I'll try to get anything you need done. My daddy said, okay, that's fine. He said, why don't you, when you win, go to your house, stay at your house, and never, ever go to work. We'll send you your check. He said, man, Mr. Boudreaux, we can't do that. He said, why would you want me to do that? He said, because every time y'all go to work, y'all hurt me.
Yes.
Last but not least is Jeff and them with the auto insurance and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I really think they got less accidents because people ain't got gas money. They selling everything for gas money.
Hey, look, hey, there might be some truth to that.
Where's my bell for that?
There might be some truth to that. Man, Teaspoon,
Yeah.
you're bringing the heat today, my man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. You know, my dad would tell me a similar philosophy. You know, he'd say it all the time. Can they just take a year off? Just a year. Just every so often, just a year. Just don't do anything.
Just chill out for a little bit.
Can y'all imagine on the national level, though? Hey, thanks, Teaspoon. I appreciate you, brother. Call back soon sometime. Can y'all imagine on the national? Big Chris gets it. Like, can you imagine on the national level if we just said Congress? I know there's a few good men and women over there. Our congressman here is great. But for the rest of you, can y'all just, as a matter of fact, everybody, y'all just stay home. Don't do anything for a year. Man, and don't spend anything more. Don't do Anyway, Big Chris. What's up, Big Chris?
Hey, Teaspoon's echoing what I said a while back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he is. He is.
Really and truly scared. I mean, what happens when Trump is gone?
Man, we were just talking about that.
Because he's doing everything right. I mean, they're starting to realize that he's right on everything. Okay, what happens when we get a politician in there that is beholden to the money givers that promote his campaign and everything? Trump can do this because he has so much money they can't influence him. What happens when we get a regular politician in there again? I pray that they see what he's doing and grow some, you know what.
Yeah.
But I'm skeptical, very skeptical.
And grow some testicles.
Yeah. Go to eBay or wherever you said.
I go to Amazon.
On the radio.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Big Chris. Thank you. Whoo, man. We were just talking about that, and I'll say this. I'll repeat what we were talking about on the break. Trump, see, all these philosophies. We're conservative, or I'm a conservative, but even labels as a whole, you got to be flexible in that. Everybody, you ask what a conservative is, you'll get ask 100 people, you get 100 different answers. Now, but there are some basic tenets there, though. But I would say the Republican Party has a choice to make in 3 years, because as far as like philosophy, yeah, we're picking on the Democrats right now. They don't have a platform. I will say that they don't have a leader, but that's not always going to be the case. They're not going to always be in shambles like that. Trump has dominated our party, the Republican Party, for 10 years now, and he will dominate it for 13 once he's done. At minimum 12, but 13 if you count that year before. Dominate it. So the Republican Party will have a choice. Are we going to continue to do what Trump did? You know, I think the Republican Party would behoove itself to take all of the policy wins and wrap your arms around that and hold on to that. We don't need the childish antics. No one's perfect, though. I'll take all those childish antics if you keep giving me these wins. I don't care. I don't care.
But cut out the foolishness.
But the Republican Party, you can do that. So we've gotten the model that works policy-wise. Cool. That would be smart. And then you take those policy wins and you infuse conservative policies of limited government, limited federal government. Let the states decide most of those things. Let the local governments definitely decide most of those things, whatever that may be. But the federal government is designed to be a government of limited, not unlimited, limited power. All right, let's take a tiny little break. I want to finish this topic when we get back because it's worth noting, you know, the whole D.C. crime going down and all that stuff, National Guard troops, all these things. All right, guys, we'll cover this and wrap it up when we get back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear studios here in Acadiana, your hometown attorneys. Beal and Abear, give them a shout. We're also broadcasting live on Rumble, rumble.com. You can go to rumble.com and look up the Josh Guillory Show. Check us out. We're here. And thank you to all our Rumble viewers out there and to our listeners on radio. All right, so let's go back to this. President Trump mobilized National Guard, very specific mission, very specific, very limited in scope. And he is the president, and this is the District of Columbia. This is all of ours, national government seat, as we all know. Belongs to all of us. And look, it's been a national embarrassment. Instead of being a national capital we can all just have immense pride of, the good pride, it's been an embarrassment. All of it. And this has to stay limited, though. I mean, I think the federal government has a duty. I feel like the federal government has a duty to clean up its capital, of course. I don't think anybody can reasonably disagree with that. But I think no one can reasonably disagree with that if, and only if, this stays limited. Like very limited. D.C., though, remember, guys, when folks argue about this stuff, D.C. is not like any other city, in America at least. It's a federal district. And that's why Trump has the authority to act. We don't want the feds swooping into Baton Rouge, Louisiana, or Madison, Wisconsin, or Lafayette, Louisiana, or anything like that. Shreveport, you name it. You keep on.
Name it.
Yeah.
Beans, grains, potatoes.
We also don't want the federal government coming in every time that they disagree with the mayor or a city council's decisions to govern. You don't want that. But this is a unique case, and I'm glad Trump made it clear. He's not going to let D.C., our capital, collapse into chaos while he's president. I think that's fantastic. I think it's common sense, and I think that the mayor over there should also have that urgency. But think about it. Carjackings down 83% in 1 week. 1 week. I mean, imagine you're a D.C. criminal right now. You wake up Monday morning, you stretch, you polish the old ski mask up, only to realize the feds are on your street corner.
I think they lint roll the ski mask. They don't polish it.
I think it's a bad week for business. Almost got to feel bad for those little crooks out there. They're about to get their world.
I mean, their revenue's been cut off. You think they can apply for food stamps?
They're probably already on it. What are you talking about?
I'm just kidding. You're going to be making mess.
But we got a serious takeaway here, though. I think that Trump is, like I said, look at the results. Trump is showing results fast. And he's doing it in a limited scope, at least in this mission. I don't think it's limited in those two permanent National Guard stations in Alabama and I forgot the other one, Arizona maybe.
Arizona and Alabama. Alabama.
But one thing I like about him, he makes decisions. He's an executive that makes decisions. He didn't wring his hands, didn't form a blue ribbon panel.
He didn't pussyfoot around.
He didn't promise to study it. He didn't promise, I'm going to study. Hey, pal. He's sending back up.
God, now there's a committee? That's the last step before a task force.
I mean, look, he didn't, he didn't promise all the fluff. He just kind of goes in, sent back up. Crime collapse, great. Look, here's the deal. If the local politicians want this to last, they need to fix their broken law and back their cops instead of punishing them. And we see that so many times in these left-leaning cities. But the capital of the United States is safer today than it was last week, and it's because our president acted. And I will take good results, my dear friends. I will take good results with a little federal muscle in D.C. over years of excuses from weak politicians any day of the week. But I got to tell you, the Republican Party has a choice to make. You know, one of our callers earlier, President Trump's not going to be there past this term. And I know there's jokes and all, but the Constitution's clear.
And we can't, this is not sustainable. Like, we either got to get our act together or, I mean, like, we can't just be sending the National Guard out every time these cities start to lose control. Like, for once, let's just regain control of where we live, our homes, and take some pride in it, man.
Yeah.
Like, love where you live for once.
I mean, or here's the deal. If you want to go in there in a limit scope and it's agreeable, it's a CEA between the local government and the federal government, and it's a limited scope, and you're going to come in, you're going to clean crime, you're going to clean everything up.
All the things.
But here's the deal. There's a commitment. You, local government, commit to keeping your streets clean, and we'll continue to send that federal dollars to you.
Well, look, I don't think
Meaning, if you don't, there's no excuse. You're on notice now.
Like with California, he shouldn't have sent feds. He should have just cut the tap. Like, just cut them off. Any federal. Like, are the states entitled to all this money?
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, I got you on that. I got you. I just felt that one might have been a little dicey. I mean, you had local, that was a little dicey. I don't know. And again, very limited. Very limited scope.
If they don't want to police themselves up, let them fail. Let them fail. We'll pick up the pieces when they're done.
I mean, look, but when we do these things like this, it creates more dependency on the federal government. Yes, the federal government can do it. I mean, look how much money they have. Of course, if they focus on a short period of time, but the problem is these good ideas in short periods of time become long ideas, and we never get rid of them until the next new idea, and we have more government and more government and more government. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Hour number 2. You're not going to want to miss this. All right. afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. I remain your grateful host, and in studio with me still, my main man, Jamie Angel.
That's me. That's me.
That's you.
That's me.
The whole day. Hadn't left.
Part of the night.
That's what I'm saying. Just part.
Part.
Just part. We're broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios. Beal and Hebert here in Lafayette, Louisiana, your hometown attorneys. All of those guys and gals from Acadiana. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Beal and Hebert. Also broadcasting live from Rumble. Go to rumble.com. Give us a little follow. You can check us out. You don't have to follow us to see the archives and all that stuff, but we certainly ask you to. It doesn't take long, and we don't harass you.
Yeah. Follow the show page and the channel.
Hey! I still don't like that we have 2.
Well,
It drives me crazy.
I'm
I'm with
it,
question 8 over here. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm with Piku, who says it's hard to love where we live when the government makes it so hard to live.
Oh,
he ain't wrong about that at all.
Ooh, that's harsh. That's harsh. Harsh. Maybe true.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, not just, man, this is going to sound so corny. This is going to sound so great. It's going to sound so cheesy, but I genuinely mean it. Like, all we got going for us is the people. That's like, that genuinely is our best asset.
Got some pretty good people here.
Like, generally speaking, very kind, welcoming, hardworking, pragmatic. Don't worry about the small stuff like, enjoy life, joie de vivre, all that stuff. If our government would just do what we tell them.
They really do make it so hard. Life could be sweet here,
or
man.
Just do what you say you're gonna do. Dang it. It's so like, man, if we could. Too many politicians have ruined that line. If a government, we need to make a government as good as the people.
Oh, don't.
Well, whatever that. Many people said that. That's not just one person or 2 people. It's many people use that, and it's unfortunate because none of them have come close to the greatness of our people. And that's unfortunate because boy, how come the great leaders in places like Alabama can help the great people of Alabama? How come, no, seriously, how come the leaders in Florida, they go and do what a majority of the folks in Florida want them to do? And those guys get reelected and things like that because they're doing what their constituents. Why? Texas, Arkansas,
Florida.
I just said Florida.
Oh, yeah, you said Florida. Whatever.
Carolinas. I'm just saying.
Oklahoma.
I'm just. Yeah. We're gonna talk about Oklahoma. Oh, we're gonna talk about Oklahoma, guys. Y'all, I can't wait till the bottom half of the hour. We're gonna talk about Oklahoma. Oklahoma's good. All right.
Not the musical, by the way.
But yeah, I just don't understand it. All right, let's move on here. So remember, we were talking about the D.C. President Trump federalizing the Metropolitan Police of D.C. Well, we have a little role in that now, Louisiana. We're looking at Megan Freeman at the Times. Picayune.
Times-Picayune.
I did it. I'm telling you, 42 years I've been butchering that. Reports that Louisiana is sending. So Louisiana here. We're sending 135 National Guard soldiers to Washington, D.C. Okay. Governor Jeff Landry announced the move earlier today, joining 5 other red states. All right, West Virginia, Ohio, South Carolina, Mississippi, and Tennessee. All of them pledge hundreds of troops to support President Trump's federal crackdown in the Capitol. Okay. Hey, can you look up how many D.C.
That's what I'm looking up right now.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Can you look up the D.C. Guard? Remember, when Trump went into California, now you correct me if I'm wrong, he mobilized the California Guard.
Correct.
Yeah, very, very, very different here. So this is not D.C. National Guardsmen. As you know, it's these 5 states, okay? Or 6 states with us.
3,400, the District of Columbia National Guard, combining both the Army and Air, has 3,400 members, 1,350 soldiers, and about 1,100 airmen.
And those aren't activated?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not. No, they're not. They're not. They don't have 3,400 National Guardsmen on the streets right now.
No, but that's how many members they have.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, why are we sending some if they have some?
That's a great question. That is a fantastic
I mean,
question.
look, none of these soldiers are going there packing, okay? I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, well, some of them would, but it would be very limited. They're there mostly to support, mostly.
And it should be D.C. now because it's their city. I mean, they're the ones who have a stake in it. Louisiana soldiers, not so much.
Look, and if you don't like it, go back to the original intent of the founding fathers that D.C. wasn't supposed to be this city. Thomas Jefferson compromised to I forget who it was, Madison or who wanted the centralized bank?
Hamilton.
Hamilton. He compromised with Hamilton. You keep them banks up there in New York City. That's fine. He believes cities corrupted governments, and I'm just saying. And he said a lot of folks in the city, they're not as good as patriots as the folks in the country. I'm just saying. I am totally paraphrasing that.
Well, they ought to go to Oklahoma.
But the great compromise was to put D.C. in a neutral place in the South. Now, that's not the intent I'm talking about. But the small city, it's not supposed to be a big old city. That's the That's the major compromise. Yes, he wanted in the South, but the major compromise that D.C. was supposed to be this neutral place, only government buildings there, federal government, in a very limited space. So anyway.
Was the intent of the National Guard to go across the country to do, civilian peacekeeping?
We'll talk about all that. So, all right, when you take all this into consideration, these state deployments could more than double the size of Trump's original 800-member D.C. Guard force. So 800, so 400 to 800, or 800 to 1,600, regardless, it's still less than 3,400.
Well, plus the FBI folks on the street, whatever other DOJ officials they have out there.
Yep. So the Louisiana Guard says our soldiers were requested by the White House and would leave within 24 hours. So all right, okay. President Trump has declared a crime emergency in D.C., and good. That's a good one. That's a good declaration, in my opinion. And already put, as we said, the Metropolitan Police Department under federal control. So his words were, the Guard and police will liberate this city, scrape away the filth, and make it safe, clean, habitable, and beautiful once more. Now, critics, including D.C. Mayor Bowser, that's your buddy.
Muriel.
She says this isn't about violent crime, pointing out DOJ numbers that show D.C. crime hit a 30-year low last year. She argues it's more about immigration enforcement and forcing local police to cooperate with federal officers. And if it is good, I don't care, then send 1,000 if you need to. That's a different mission, Mayor Bowser, just letting you know that. And all that federal dollars, the least you could do is have your officers comply with federal officers on federal issues like illegal immigration. Give me a break. I can't believe she said that. Well, I can't.
Yes, you can.
I can. I mean, look, they have to all be in cahoots because everybody wins here. She gets to stand up to big bad orange man. She gets handed a clean city. She gets to make all the left-leaning arguments, all the left-leaning points. So all her left-leaning base love it. All the wokesters giving her high five. She gets the benefit of all great conservative policies and slap them in the face right at the same time.
Like, feed me more, but please don't give me any more.
Yeah, no, I don't like you, but I do. I don't, what is it? I don't want you, but I need you.
I said I loved you, but I lied.
All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. We'll wrap this story up, and then we're going to Oklahoma. back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Beal and Bear Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. I'm sorry, buddy.
Stressing me out, man.
I forgot you had more buttons to press now. That's right.
Got to run the Rumble, got to run the board.
Yeah. And let me give our studio sponsor a better shout out than that. Beal and Bear. You know those guys by now. Hometown attorneys. Give those guys a call. I don't want to shortchange their shout out. We appreciate them very much. And not only on the professional level, but the personal level. Good guys. Real good guys and gals. Okay, so we're talking about the Louisiana National Guard and 5 other states sending National Guard troops to D.C. to help with President Trump's D.C. task force or D.C. National Guard efforts to police crime, which is working. The policing crime is working. We said that the last hour. But this is different. This is different. Now, the D.C. National Guard, we said 3,100 to 3,400 troops or guardsmen, whether it's Army or Air, but regardless. So more than enough or more than the amount that is being sent and is already mobilized. So I just want to point those facts out. So here's my take. I do support President Trump using the D.C. National Guard to stabilize the Capitol in D.C. during this emergency. Washington is unique. It isn't a state. It belongs to all of us. And when the streets of our nation's capital turn dangerous or chaotic, the president has every right to act. Very limited, very targeted, temporary. That's his job. But conservatives, we got to remember to stay consistent in our principles. But first, let's remember, okay, because a lot of folks may not know this. A National Guard soldier wears 2 hats. They answer to the governor at home. They answer to the president when federally activated. They swear the same oath you and I know very well to defend against enemies, both foreign and domestic. It's a noble mission. But it doesn't mean their job is to become America's everyday police force. Never the intent of the National Guard. Very limited scope of mission, limited time under unique circumstances, crime emergency in the nation's capital. Totally get the president acting. I would argue he has a duty to do it, and he would be neglecting his duty if he didn't do it. But this is where I worry. When red state governors start treating the Guard as an extension of Washington's police force, we blur that line between limited emergency action and open-ended federal policing. And that, to me, is very scary. That's a line conservatives must never erase. We are the party, remember, Republicans. We are the party of limited government, not unlimited deployment. That's not what we stand for. Not even close. So, yes, I support President Trump in D.C. under these rare circumstances. I think most people do. I think the folks in D.C. are grateful for it. But I don't support exporting our Guard in bulk around the country. I just don't. Louisiana's Guard should be ready for hurricanes in Houma now, not routine patrols in D.C. neighborhoods. You know, it's one thing to back the president in a crisis. It's another to risk turning our state forces, all of them, into a permanent national police. Nowhere in our Constitution calls for that. We have national police force. We do. I would say we have national police forces. But conservatives, we either believe in limited government or we don't. And if we forget that, we stop being conservatives. And it goes back to philosophy. A lot of it. But you know what? I want to hear the philosophy of these folks. We're going to open up the phone lines early. Can we do that, Mr. Producer over there?
I suppose we can. Let me fix these.
I think, guys, while he's doing that, I think he grew like 2 extra arms. Because I don't know, I see his arms moving over there, and I see these screens all over the place, but I don't know how he did it. You ready to roll?
Give me 2 seconds, and I will be right there. Let's go.
Let's roll. Who are we going to? All right, Renee, what you got, Renee?
Like I said, I mean, I know you're the party of limited government, but these days are not unlike anything else in history. I mean, the left is not going to change. They are dangerous. They don't need us to tweak the law, and they're going to work on what we already have and then feel guilty about it. When they show up, they're going to make whole new laws anyway. And the thing is we're going to be in a fix if they show up taking over anything anyway. Donald Trump has to do what he has to do. The National Guard, the way the National Guard, when I was there, do that is that when you have a hurricane, you never have the same people in the same community policing there. People, you rotate them. If you're in Homer National Guard, when I went there for promotion, we went to New Orleans. Think of it. If you have Homer National Guard, people in Homer policing their own people, the conflict of interest you're going to have, like they know who's who, they have to do something. Drug dealers get mad or something. They know where they live. Just like the police, you got to rotate them. New York has a crime problem. You don't want to have local New York people. National.
All right. Hey, thanks, Renee. Appreciate that. Look, we got some calls. We're going to move on. All right. Who we going to next?
We got Eddie.
Eddie, what you got, Eddie?
All right. I think all this stuff about them sending National Guards, like Louisiana sending in National Guards and that, I think them governors are underwater. And they're trying to protect power. They can't protect power in their own state by governing this state. You know, like our governor and our lieutenant, our AG or whatever you want to call her, Liz Merle. So they got to send, look how good I am. I'm sending our National Guard to help Washington State. I think all the people that standing guards over there need to get them out. Let Washington handle their own business. That's the only way you're going to solve it.
I mean,
you bringing in more guards, you're just making the problem bigger. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to leave it like that. And I think our governor, with his insurance reform and all that, he's full of crap. And I hope he gets beat his next cycle. And I'm going to leave it like that and let y'all talk. Thank y'all, fellas.
Well, thank you, Eddie. I appreciate that. I always appreciate Eddie's passion. But, hey, man, he brings some good points, though. And, hey, Eddie, if you're still listening, hope you are. I don't know if you caught, and everybody, I don't know if you caught Jamie research. So there's about 3,100 to 3,400 guardsmen in D.C. In D.C. Why don't we use those guardsmen, those D.C. guardsmen, to police, if you have to, in D.C.? I support this mission. I support the president in his mission in this. It's a very limited mission for a very limited time and a very limited scope, but it should be used by D.C. guardsmen, not Louisiana, Oklahoma, and all these other folks. When President Trump mobilized the California Guard, or mobilized the National Guard to help California when they chose to support a mob riot, mob rule, as opposed to law and order, he mobilized the California National Guard. Big difference. Big difference. I think this has some political components, obviously, that Eddie was saying about. Man, good call. All right, let's go to...
a break. We're going to...
What? No way. All right, Buck, JP, y'all hang tight, man. We'll be right back. Jamie, that ain't right. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear studios here in Acadiana. Your hometown attorneys, Beal and Abear. Love those guys.
I don't know why you're making a face. You like to talk until the last minute, right before the break is up.
Yeah.
Because I acted like you were shocked when I put you on camera.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I was just
like you were
going with it.
surprised.
No way, buddy.
Oh, okay, good.
No way. I saw your finger go down
Look,
I was,
yes,
you know
when I'm ready, I'm
"Welcome
pressing the
back."
button no matter what.
All right, let's go to JP. Thanks for holding, JP. What you got, bud?
No problem. Big Chris and I were very fortunate today to have lunch with a very smart guy we call Boss. And the ability to stay in the middle and warn us to be careful as conservatives. We have to realize that what President Trump's doing in D.C. is a thing with the Constitution. We're either going to follow the Constitution or not. Or we can support it right now because it's a federal move. But the second he does what he says he's going to do, maybe start doing this in Chicago, Illinois. Yeah. The second he steps foot in there, I'm out. I don't support it anymore because we got to stick with, we're constitutionalists. We're going to stick with it. We don't believe in that. Yeah. This is not. I think the whole sending troops from Louisiana is a stupid thing because what's going on in Washington, it has a limited time frame. By the time they get there and finish getting dressed, it's going to be time to come home.
Yep.
30 days will be over.
It was political. I'm with you though on the man. That's what I'm saying. We just have to be consistent. Just as conservatives, that's a slippery slope. It's one thing to mobilize, like JP, like you're saying with Chicago. Hey, if you have to bring the Guard in, you mobilize the Illinois National Guard. You don't mobilize,
Exactly.
Unless it's a crisis that is a regional impact. Hurricanes, great example.
Exactly. This was voluntary from Jeff, though. And what it is, it's a power play. It's to show that we're going to send people there, and I will tell you, I'm going to say this, just because we have Napoleonic Code as our law in Louisiana does not mean that we need a Napoleonic complex as our governor, which I feel is part of the problem. So I'm just going to go back into something we used to do a couple weeks ago and just say, "Shut up, Jeffrey. Just shut up." Shut up, Jeff.
JP.
Thanks, JP.
JP.
But in thinking about,
I got cover on my face.
I'm trying to divert real quick.
Oh my goodness.
In thinking about it though, you and I were both soldiers. I think about
we were soldiers.
As a soldier, if I had gotten sent to, if I were sent to an American city to patrol, I would not be okay with that. I would have some serious issues with that because I signed up to defend my country, not to police the city streets of our country. It's not that's not what it's for.
Big difference between natural disasters where you do have task force of multiple states. Long history of that, long precedent for that, and not while there are policing components of that. You can't compare the two.
You're trained to fight an enemy, not to
police.
Yeah, your own people.
There's a difference.
Yeah,
there's a difference. We're not at war with our people. We're not at war with our people.
And you're putting them in a position where the people are the enemy because people. That is the mission.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I'll tell you, I did a few hurricane missions after Iraq, and I did a few hurricane missions before Iraq, and those things look different before and after. So I'm just telling you, okay? Like, soldiers are soldiers, and that's all I'm going to say. All right, so we got to talk about this. All right, there's an article in USA Today. Oh, yeah. Speaking of crazy conservatives. Anywho, it's by Kayla Jimenez about Oklahoma's new America First certification test for teachers coming in from California and New York.
I'm going to teach you something real quick.
What?
Jimenez.
Jimenez. Okay.
It's a
Jimenez.
Silent J. It's a HJ.
Well, see, my people call it Jimenez.
Your people. I don't know where to go with that.
Here's what's going on. Oklahoma. I got my people's big tent. Oh, come on.
Something.
Anyway, Oklahoma's education department. This is a state, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's education department says if you want to teach in their public schools, okay, and you're from California, New York, You're going to have to pass a test.
Stop it.
I'm just saying. Doesn't matter if you're teaching math, English, or PE. You've got to show that you know the difference between a male and a female. Okay. That you agree with Oklahoma's American history standards. Okay. And that you're not bringing woke ideology into the classroom. So you want to be one of them woke ideologues in New York or California, you go right ahead, but not here in Oklahoma. Hey, common sense, right? The test is being developed with help from an independent company. It'll cover the Constitution, the basics of government, election integrity, and traditional history standards.
So citizenship test.
Basically. I mean, that's what I was. That's what I was thinking. Now, this part, traditional history standards. Okay, like, what's the consensus amongst objective scholars? That's what we always used to use. Now it's like, well, boys could be girls if we did this, and then this in ancient Rome. Like, don't stretch. Teachers' unions, of course, they're furious. They're mad. They're mad right now. I don't like this. They're calling it political theater. They say it's a huge turnoff to teachers. And I don't know about that. And they argue it won't solve Oklahoma's teacher shortage. I think a lot of teachers were very upset with having to teach woke ideology. I think, but, union. Okay.
This is weird.
But here's the deal. So the media in USA Today, in this article for sure, see, they're framing it as conservatives going extreme, trying to scare people off. I mean, you've seen that. This article I'm referencing was very, very.
It's kind of what it sounds.
It's definitely tilting left. I mean, it's an anti-Trump article, but had some facts in there. Maybe you got to collect the half-truths to put them all together. Like, this subject goes with this predicate, and you put them together.
But why California and New York? Why not just say any teacher? I mean, have all your teachers at the same standard? How about that?
Very good point. So from a legal standpoint, I'm looking at this. I'm thinking, I don't know if Privilege and Immunities Clause, 14th Amendment, that might come into play. You have a right to work. You can't be arbitrarily and capriciously denied. So yeah, I mean, you're treating. But then again, if you go from an equal protection standpoint, but I don't think that's going to be I think it's privilege and immunities. Anyway,
it's weird.
Yeah, before nerding out, I don't know. So let's keep talking about it. So Oklahoma, on one hand, you could look at it like this: Oklahoma is doing what states are supposed to do. Think about this: set their own standards. We don't want this federal stuff. I mean, you can have some minimal guidelines to attach with that money, but golly. But they want to set their own standards. They don't want, in this case, California's gender theory, for example, in their classrooms. They don't want New York's revisionist history in front of their kids. They just don't want that. I mean, and there is a uniqueness there. These are teachers. So if they're teachers who have been indoctrinated in those very specific jurisdictions, then maybe it will pass constitutional muster. It's limited. They don't like this ideology. Well, we're only going to test these teachers from these states with this ideology. I don't know. It might hold up. But let's keep going. So, and the Oklahoma officials say they want teachers who respect their values, Oklahoma values. Okay. Some say that's federalism. They say that's local control. And, regarding the unions, man, the teachers' unions, okay? Look.
Where's Randy?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, everybody puts out different information. It just seems to me, when I talk to teachers who I have deep admiration for, and I talk to the union, they're not saying the same thing. Now, that is my limited experience, my limited personal experience. But I happen to talk to a lot of teachers in my time and a lot of folks from unions.
I don't think enough teachers participate in the union activities for the unions to be representative of what the whole of teachers want. I think you have a few folks who get real into it, want to be in the leadership, and they control everything.
Yeah.
And most teachers are probably just oblivious to what actually happens in their unions. My opinion, that's all.
Yeah, I would say the unions, I don't know how much credibility they would have in lecturing Oklahoma on politics.
Not much.
All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. got to do. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Bill and Bear Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're also broadcasting live on Rumble. I want you to go over there. Go to rumble.com. Give us a little view. Give us a little follow. And you could be like question 8. Give us some chats. Thank you. I
Question
see you
8
out there.
agrees with Oklahoma. It says protecting their own state. That's why we have states. Not all supposed to be the same.
That's right.
You're not.
That's
you're
right.
not entirely wrong.
That's right.
We got some.
Yeah, we got. Go for it.
We got. Let's see. Will in my motherland, Cecilia says, in total agreement with Eddie. Jeff Landry has really disappointed me. Jack in Lafayette says Jeffrey got a taste of DC power and prestige, and he liked the taste. Kill Switch and Erath says heard the new movie coming out called Vietnam 2: American Soil.
Oh no! Hope not. Hope not.
Oof.
Man, let's keep talking about this though. Okay, so remember, I'm going off of a USA Today article. They should have called it op-ed. They didn't. So the liberal media, mainly the mainstream guys. I don't know. The Oklahoma folks probably have the same local media issues that we have with the issues with truth. Not all. I don't want to. All the publications and sources, but not all the individuals. I'll say that. But USA Today, they want all of us to believe that this is scary and dangerous what Oklahoma's doing. But you know what's scary to me, and probably to a lot of folks? Sending our children to school and not knowing if their teacher is going to push radical gender ideology or tell them America was founded on lies. That's scary to me. That's like a big deal to me. And I probably a lot of moms and dads out there, grandparents, aunts, uncles, people that care about society. You don't have to have kids or nieces or nephews or grandkids to know that. You live here. We all want our kids to have the best, whether they're our kids or not. We want that next generation. That's part of being American, handing something better than what we received. It's a big deal. So yeah, we don't want to send our kids to school and being in under that ideology, and neither do the folks in Oklahoma. You know what Oklahoma is doing is saying, not here. You know, just not in our schools. You want to do it in California? We want to do it in New York. You made a good point. Like, well, how can they just tell these? Why don't they do it universally? That's their decision. I don't know. It actually sounds like a good criteria, a good exam for all their teachers. But okay, it's very limited. The ideology that the Oklahoma leaders disagree with is in California and New York. So they're saying, all right, if you're a teacher and you're coming from those places, we're assuming that you are licensed and credentialed and taught under that ideology. And we're not going to let that seep through. So we're going to give you a test to make sure you know the standards and understand that we don't want our kids being indoctrinated in this woke ideology.
It's a little discriminatory, though, wouldn't you say? Like, so you're basically denying or adding obstacles to employment based on where somebody was born.
There's discrimination all around us, so we can't. That's not the right legal question. The right legal question is the discrimination justified? We discriminate every day. There's people down the street in that jail that's discriminated, but they justify it.
I understand that, but like it would be like, oh, well, I'm not going to hire you because you're from Louisiana.
No, they can't do that. No, they can't. No, they can't do that. Yeah. They didn't say if you're from if you're from California, New York. No, if you're a New York or California teacher and you come to Oklahoma, you got to take an extra test. I think that is very limited. I could be wrong. The courts. I don't have a case off the top of my head on point. I don't know if there is one on point. There's probably some similarly.
Well, do lawyers have to be? If you go to practice law in a different state, do you have to get qualified in that state?
Yes.
Okay, then. Well, I guess I'm okay with it now.
No, it would, but valid thoughts.
It should be all states.
And look, and I will stand corrected. If Oklahoma's law says if you're from California or New York, like just general like that, yeah, that's a little broad.
Yeah, it should be everyone. Like,
that's a little broad.
Have your standards set, because you know what? Somebody could be coming from Oregon or Washington or, Montucky.
Well, I'm not saying broad because I think it's broad. Okay, personally, yeah, I mean, that's my ideology, but we have this Constitution, and we gotta remember that we have the Constitution, and we are a republic, which means we have certain privileges and immunities that are recognized in the Privileges and Immunities Clause in the 14th Amendment that allows us to go across state lines and do things that are uniform or not be punished because we're from Louisiana or New York or anything like that. So if it's broad like that, I would say it would be unconstitutional. But if it's tailored like I think it is, I don't have a problem with it. I think Oklahoma should govern how Oklahoma sees fit. And I bet you there's a lot of Louisiana citizens say, can y'all do that here too? Hey, how about instead of sending folks all over the country, why don't we do that? Yes. I bet you there's a lot of Louisiana citizens say, I'll take you giving our teachers this exam or teachers from New York and California this exam. I'll take that over all that other stuff. I bet you they would. All right, guys. Man, I wish we had more time. Thank you for all the guys on hold. I'm sorry we couldn't get to you. Thank you for tuning in, guys.